Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. And to be very honest with you guys, before I made this video, I thought I was not going to be excited to make a Division 2 video, but having continued my search and looking at things, I think there is some positive here, and I am quite pleased to have been slightly wrong about what to expect. Now, what I did was I went into the map, and this video is to show you just a very short glimpse of the loot changes. So I went into the map here, I activated the loot allocation, targeted loot allocation, which shows you where things are gonna most likely be dropping, and including the targeted loot items. And I did a mission pretty much based on that. I think I did Grand Washington Hotel, and I did it on hard. I have the gameplay here if you guys want to watch it and see. And I will say for sure that I did get 3 LMGs, just like it says in the map. When it came to weapon drops, I got this M60, I got this black market RPK 74, and this military RPK. 3 of them dropped from me just now in this mission, and the talents on them were quite decent. And I would say quite decent because you now have a higher frequency for these items to drop. So when you're looking, there is now something to look forward to, and there is also, in a sense, now a greater chance for these things to drop. Now, in terms of weapons, I don't think we have much of a problem. Yes, it's hard to get a weapon, and if you look on the map, there are assault rifle allocations as well. And so my guess is that, let me toggle it on here. Jefferson Trade Center says it's doing assault rifle. So imagine you hop in, a bunch of guys run these missions. Maybe a group of 4 people run it 2 times, 3 times. Hopefully you're hoping that somebody will probably get the one weapon that you're looking for. Maybe you won't get what you want. Yeah, it's a series of 3 talents, and the talents are kind of fixed and structured in a way, so getting a good rifle weapon of your desire is probably going to take not too long to get something close, but very long to get exactly what you want, regardless of the drop frequency. But now the drop frequency is there, and maybe we're going to see this drop frequency increase in a group of 4. So I haven't played in groups, I can't really tell in that sense. But there are a few things that I wanted to show. I saw something that almost shocked me. I almost jumped, but I had to calm down and remind myself that they're now bringing the 6 pieces for everything. So Iraldi, I have an Iraldi holster, which sounds like a cuss word, but you know how long we've been wishing for something like this. If you guys remember, and you guys have been following, I made a video titled RNG Sucks, and that video was pretty much a video that was just addressing how bad the RNG in this game currently is. This is the PTS, so I'm not going to say that the RNG in the game was bad. It is bad. Now, the RNG in the PTS seems to have been improved a little bit, except for something I'm going to show you guys here in a bit. But first, there's a new talent here called Composure. 10% total weapon damage when you're in cover, but you need to run a bunch of firearms to get this thing to proc, whatever. But it does have an offensive mod slot, so for those of us who are into DPS, definitely something that you should look out for. And then I got a Badger Tough knee pads, which now makes Badger Tough something to actually reckon to, a gear brand set, to be reckoned with in a sense. Now, Badger Tough still doesn't have a talent for its knee pads. I think in the PTS something about gear not stacking. I just skimmed through those patch notes. I just want to come into PTS and kind of look at things for myself. It's kind of better for me that way. But the one thing I wanted to say, a pet peeve of mine, is looking at these low rolls. Like if you look at this roll here for these knee pads, it says 1.5% critical hit chance, 8.5% armor. We're still back in the same place. So even if you can get all 6 Badger Tough pieces, what this is telling me is you're only going to get 6 trash Badger Tough pieces. And so, their developers, please don't do this. Somebody has to have programmed the range at which these things can drop. Now, the max range for critical hit chance on knee pads, as I've seen from paperwork, is about 10%. I have personally gotten a pair of knee pads. I think it was True Patriot that was 9% that I gave to a friend, and I have a pair of knee pads right here, D&H, that are 8%. I think, yes, 8% critical hit chance. So could at least the low end of this spectrum not be 50% of the max roll. So anywhere from 5% to 10% instead of 1.5% to 10%. I think these are some of the underlying aspects of the RNG that makes it unbearable for the player base to deal with. And this is supposedly a set of changes to appeal to the already frustrated player base. So this is not the time to be holding back on stats and numbers, in my honest opinion. But nevertheless, I have to say that seeing this in practice, where all these 6 brand set pieces are coming for everything save 511, is, in my opinion, a good step forward. So the score right now in terms of how much the developers are, how well they're doing, is like 100 to 1. So the community is like furious and is holding the developers at ransom to a debt of like 100 points, and the developers have finally scored 1 point when it comes to this. The next thing that they need to do is definitely increase these numbers, and then eventually we can go from there. And the reason I say increase these numbers is, even now that the loot changes have come into play, where, you know, we can roll stuff on, you know, we can roll whatever stats we want and all that good stuff, we're still limited to one recalibration option. If, say, we were, you know, we had multiple recalibration options, now we can be talking, because even still on the map there, the allocation just said Wyvern. If you look at the map, it says Wyvern on the aspect, on the area that I farmed, which is right here, but I only got 1 Wyvern item. I got everything else. I got Heraldian, so there's still some random aspect. Like, say if your drop rates for Wyvern in this area was as high as the drop rates for the targeted loot, then I think we'll probably be talking about something maybe different in that sense. So I guess there are many different options that developers can go with. They can go with increasing the numbers, because let me show you this. Where's the knee pads here again? The Douglas Harding, is that Douglas Harding? Sorry, Badger Tough knee pads, which we can roll. And you know, if you look at the slot, it's telling me that I can roll up to 8% if I wanted to on the knee pads. So why not give 5% or more, you know, 5% all the way through 10% as its range, or increase the drop rates of specific brand set items in the region when it comes to the map. Because yes, this is based on one mission as well, and I will say though, from the NPCs, the drops were quite scanty. I'm not gonna lie. They need to bring back 1.4 loot drops. That's what needs to come back to the game. Like, it just needs to be raining loot everywhere. You need to stop every single time and sort out good loot, not just, you know, sort out bad loot. So yes, I have to say, developers, 1 point for you guys. Thumbs up. You're doing good. Just make sure that, you know, you do things the right way, because, you know, you guys are working for us. We paid money for the game. That's just the, you know, I know as much as it sounds painful in the ears of the developers that they're working for this whiny, you know, very, very loud community, it's just the reality of what it is. Some of us do enjoy the game. We love the fact that the developers, you know, sometimes would, you know, come out there and talk to us and all that. So we love the relationship that we have. It's a love-hate relationship. It's very rocky, but sometimes we just have to call out things the way we see them. And then looking at the Eagle Bear, that's a whole nother topic for a discussion. Many of you probably don't know that the ACR is actually a very solid weapon. When the Eagle Bear receives its little, if it receives this nerf, this ACR is actually going to come to the spotlight. Something that looks like this. Put Allegro here, and now you're talking about a weapon. This weapon is very, very, very accurate. You guys have no idea how good it runs. But anyways, I'm gonna leave this video here. I'll make a second video regarding these weapon comparisons. I have to go fetch my P416 from my stash. Anyways, that's it. Just wanted to show you guys this aspect, and then we'll come in and talk about some other stuff later on. Thanks for your time and audience, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace.